Good morning, my fellow HBICs. How are you on this lovely morning, afternoon, or evening? I hope you're all having a fabulous Veterans Day. I hope you're all celebrating the veterans of the world. I'm not sure if this is a national holiday or is it a world holiday? I'm not sure. Eh, y'all know my social studies wasn't always great. Anyway, it's a quiet video because it's early in the morning. Peeps are sleeping, so I'm talking low. I hope you're hearing me just fine. I'm right up against the mic. I want to talk really quickly about number one, the habit that most of us get caught up on while we are manifesting is focusing on the negative, focusing on the things that we don't want to happen or what we're afraid of happening, what we expect to happen. It's usually a negative. That's one of the biggest habits that we're trying to cut while on this manifestation journey. And if you've noticed, the last few videos of mine have been bringing to the forefront what is going on in your mind throughout your day, the inner chatter, the inner talk. Everything we do is based off our awareness. Everything we experience is based off our awareness. Now, there are different perspectives on what and where that creation is finished. Vadim Zeland would say variant space. And that when we say yes to a desire, we are linking ourselves with a sector of variant space. And from there, variant space is taking care of how or what experiences and circumstances unfold to bring you whatever your desire is. And what people get, mostly caught up on, it was definitely how I used to live my life, was living in fear of like certain events happening and focusing on all the things that bug the shit out of me and focusing on them pretty hard. And then being shocked when I would keep experiencing negative. So one of the principles from reality transurfing in 78 days is number 55, the master's mindset. The principle is people paint the layer of their personal world in the darkest shades with their own negative attitude. The mirror simply states the content of the attitude. It ignores your slant on it. It does not matter how you are thinking about something. What matters is what you are thinking about it in the first place. Whether you like the reflection or not, you are still thinking about it. Only the theme of your thoughts has weight. From this moment on, make it a rule to keep your thought pattern and mindset under control. Whatever happens, turn everything into a positive. Fix your attention ultimately on what you want to have. What you want to have, not what you're afraid of happening. With time, you will create a very comfortable personal reality. Prepare yourself for a magnificent cascade of pleasing events. The interpretation, usually a person's attention is totally absorbed by their negative experiences. They become preoccupied with the things they don't like. They think about the things they don't want and don't want the things they think about. The mirror makes no allowances for a person's desires or reluctance. It simply accurately conveys the content of the image, no more, no less. It is ridiculous, really. I love how Vadim Zeland talks. You could tell he is a sassy, snarky bastard, which is why I enjoy reading his books. Back to what he was saying. It is ridiculous, really. People are endlessly dragging around with them the things they do not like. That is why the poor get poorer and the rich get richer. They are all looking in the mirror of the world, each in their own way, stating the guise of their personal reality. This kind of reality sucks you in like a swamp. The old woman queuing for her pension, the exhausted woman with heavy bags on a packed bus, and the sick patient hoboing from one medical institution to the next. All their thoughts totally immersed in their own grim reality. Meanwhile, someone else is enjoying life. The ocean, yachts, travel, luxury hotels, and expensive restaurants. Everything the heart desires. In every case, irrespective of the nature of the situation, people make precisely the same statement, such as life. More precisely, our life is as we imagine our existence to be. The mirror confirms and consistently consolidates the contents of our thought forms. The theme, the main theme. When we are not experiencing the things we desire, when life isn't happy, and don't get me wrong, there's going to be moments where we don't love everything. That's the human experience. And I'm sure you've heard that a million times, but it's the human experience. But that doesn't mean your heart's desires aren't coming. But you got to be authentic with yourself. Where does your mind really go? I'm going to be honest. We had an election last week, and I saw both sides of the coin in that election, meaning I had coaching calls with people very upset with the results, and I had some coaching calls with people that were very, very happy with the results. That I get, not to be political, because my channel is not political. I don't want to talk about politics, but we can use it as an example. If you focus on what you're not happy with, what you don't like, you are shaping your own reality. You are shaping what comes to you in reality. So for any of you unhappy with the results, I know we're talking about something big like the presidency, but that manifestation is no different than manifesting yourself a specific person, money, health. It's no different than any other manifestation. And the circumstance, if you're unhappy with it, or if you are happy with it, great. Continue focusing, right? You're shaping your own reality. If you're not, if you keep staring at it, being unhappy, being frustrated, being angry, you really have to ask yourself a question. What do you believe? Do you really believe you're creating your reality? Do you really believe you have input on what you're experiencing around you? Because there is not one circumstance in the 3D that is immune from your consciousness, from your conscious awareness. Even something as big as that platform, the presidency, it's no different. It's not bigger. It's a circumstance that you're experiencing in your reality. So if your perspective is to stay in fear and to be unhappy, we should be treating this circumstance the same way we would treat any other. We don't have to like it. We don't have to try to understand why it's here. But we have to make a decision over who we are and where we're placing our focus. And honestly, if we're letting circumstances outside of us like that have so much control over us, we are sincerely keeping one leg out into a version of yourself or into a reality where you don't get the things you want, and a leg in another. And we can't do that. The idea is to break out of that and to stand firm in one version of ourselves, one state of consciousness. You don't hold more than one state at one time. It's choice. If anything, yes, manifestation requires some discipline. Discipline to stop saturating your awareness with things you don't like, things you're not happy with. Everything in your reality can be impacted on by your awareness. Everything you're experiencing in your reality is the reflection of who you have been. So if you want to experience drastic change, if you want your heart's desire, your focus should be brought to that, to being the you experiencing the life you want to live, while at the same time releasing the control over your 3D reality and understanding even circumstances that make no sense, or even circumstances that show up and upset us. They are not there by happenstance. They're there as reflection. And you get to choose how you perceive them. You're in control of that. All the examples that Vadim Zeland gave, the rich getting richer, the poor getting poorer, it's the truth, unfortunately, because those who are experiencing those realities that he discussed, it's what they immerse their awareness in. And I've seen in comments, I've seen that, well, Kim, what are we supposed to do? Reality is reality. It's in our face. How are we supposed to just not focus on it? Again, this isn't about totally ignoring what you're living, but it is consciously using some discipline and being aware that you're getting sucked in to marinating in circumstances. And to make lasting change requires the discipline to make yourself focus elsewhere or give it a new meaning. And I find that to be the easiest, to give the shitty circumstances a meaning that it is somehow still benefiting you, that the world, reality, takes care of you, protects you. And quite frankly, that is the next principle: dissatisfaction with the world, number 56. If you really want to improve your life, replace reactive negativity with a positive dominant. For example, my world always chooses the best for me. I go with the variance flow and the world meets me halfway. I create the layer of my world with my own intention. My world protects me. My world guards me against problems. My world makes sure that my life is easy and comfortable. I place an order and my world delivers it. I may not know how to take care of me, but my world does. My intention is manifesting in physical reality. Everything is leading towards it, and everything is as it should be. Remember, either you control reality or reality controls you. So which one is it? Are you letting the outside reality control you and determine who you are, determine your next moment? Because all we ever have is this one present moment. That's all we're in. Present moment after present moment after present moment after present moment. Use them wisely. Use them to your benefit. Break out of that sheep mentality to believe you're stuck, that life just is the way it is. It's not. It's a result of your awareness. That's your life. Period. And I said in a video the other day, I don't care how justified you are in what you're upset about or what you're frustrated with. As in, I believe you. I don't want anybody to be unhappy. I don't want anybody to feel like they're not going to get their desires. But even if you have experience, evidence in 3D to prove you are justified in how you feel about something or how you view something, I believe that you've had those experiences. I believe you have that evidence. But that doesn't change that it's time for you to get your awareness off of it if you want it to change. And that goes for every area in your life. It goes for anything you're manifesting. So examples I get a lot, especially in the manifesting a specific person category, is, yeah, but Kim, this SP totally said, I don't want you. I want this other person instead. Or I never wanted to be with you, or I never enjoyed the relationship. I agree with you. Those are very hurtful statements. I agree with you. But no matter how many times you've heard that, if you are making the decision that you still want to manifest that person, then you have to get the awareness off of all your justifications to stay angry and resentful to that person. It's an is what it is. So how badly do you want what you're manifesting? How badly? Is it worth it to you to keep marinating in the things you don't like and don't want, or that you are justifiably angry or hurt over? Is it worth it to you to waste another precious present moment of your time focusing outwardly on the things you don't like? Is it worth it? Knowing that that is your very expensive awareness time. We're wasting it and giving it to a life we don't want. Think of your present moments as currency. It's not worth wasting our money on low-class shit. Let's take our money, our currency, our present moment, our present awareness, and place it on what we want, so that that's the result in our reality, the things we want. It just takes discipline. If you notice in my videos, I don't throw a bunch of techniques at you, because techniques aren't what's manifesting. Techniques are there to guide you, guide your awareness into imagination, or again, your imagination, your awareness is essentially the same. Techniques are just there to help you get focused on who you want to be. But there's not one perfect technique. They all work, and they work per individual. So that's a reason why I don't throw consistent techniques at you, because you got to find what works for you, because what I love, you might not love. And I tend to use the example of visualizing or robotic affirming. I don't love either one of those. And I will not be doing either one of those really ever. But that doesn't mean they don't work. They have worked flawlessly for others. You got to enjoy the techniques you choose. It shouldn't feel like a second job. So when you pick a technique that feels good to you, it won't feel like a second job. It'll feel like normal, natural life. And it will become that for you. Like making a decision has become that for me. Embodiment, that's become my natural, normal. You're all equipped to do this right here and right now. If you get serious and get really authentic with yourself of where you're allowing your mind to go. If you don't see what you want in reality and you're still judging that reality, because it's one thing that if you think you're not experiencing movement, or if you don't see anything really changing in 3D reality, but you're not judging it as not working, you're still viewing reality as everything's unfolding perfectly for you. You're not the person I'm talking to in this video. You've got your awareness in the right place. But if you're still judging your reality and viewing it as unfavorable, then be authentic with yourself. Where does your mind really go? Because you couldn't possibly have that view on reality unless you were there in awareness, unfavorable, dissatisfaction, negativity. Reality is our mirror, the mirror of our awareness. You can take total control and take charge of your experience by choosing to focus where it is most favorable, the things you want. So on that note, I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully in a normal video format.